Most people think opportunities are obvious, something big, something clear, something impossible to miss. But that's not how it works. The biggest opportunities in your life will not look like opportunities at all. They'll look like something small, something uncertain, something easy to ignore. And most people do ignore them. Not because they're stupid, not because they're lazy, but because nothing about those moments feels important. They feel confusing, they feel inconvenient, they feel risky. And the human mind is designed to avoid all of those things. So instead of leaning in, we scroll past, we move on. We tell ourselves, I'll come back to this later. But later never comes. And by the time it does, it's already too late. There's a moment that shows up in everyone's life, a quiet moment, nothing dramatic, nothing life-changing, at least on the surface, just a small signal, something different, something slightly out of place. Most people don't even notice it. Some people notice it but ignore it, and a very small number of people pause. They don't fully understand what they're looking at. They don't have certainty. They don't have proof. But something about it feels different. And instead of dismissing it, they pay attention. That's where everything starts to change. Imagine two people, same background, same knowledge, same potential. They're both moving through life at the same pace, doing the same things, thinking the same way, until one day something appears in front of them. It's not polished, it's not popular, it doesn't come with guarantees. In fact, it looks incomplete, uncertain, maybe even a little uncomfortable. One of them looks at it and immediately moves on. It's not ready yet. It's not proven. It's probably nothing. And that's the end of it. The moment passes, gone. The other person does something slightly different. They don't jump in blindly. They don't risk everything. But they pause. They look a little closer. They think about it. They sit with the discomfort of not knowing. And instead of needing certainty, they become curious. They take a small step, just one, not a big move, not a life-changing decision, just enough to explore. And that small step leads to another and another. At first, nothing happens. No reward, no recognition, no validation, just confusion, just doubt, just the feeling that maybe this was a mistake. Meanwhile, the first person continues life as usual. Everything feels normal, safe, predictable. And for a while, it seems like they made the right choice. But then something starts to shift, slowly, almost invisibly. That thing that once looked uncertain starts to grow. It starts to make sense. It starts to become real. And little by little, other people begin to notice it. At first, they're skeptical, then curious, then interested, and eventually, everyone sees it. Now it's obvious. Now it's clear. Now it looks like an opportunity. But here's the part no one talks about. By the time it looks like an opportunity, the opportunity's already gone. Now it's crowded. Now everyone is trying to get in. Now the advantage has disappeared. And the first person looks back and says, I remember that. I saw that before. I just didn't think it was anything. But it was. They didn't miss it. They ignored it. This is the part most people don't understand. Opportunities don't feel good in the beginning. They don't feel exciting. They don't feel safe. They feel like extra effort. They feel like uncertainty. They feel like stepping into something without knowing what's going to happen. And your brain hates that. Your brain is not designed for growth. It's designed for survival. It wants to keep you safe. It wants to keep you comfortable. It wants to avoid risk. So when something new appears, something unfamiliar, something that doesn't fit your current reality, your brain does something very simple. It filters it out. It labels it as unimportant. It tells you, this isn't for you. This can wait. This probably won't work. And just like that, the moment disappears, not because it wasn't there, but because you didn't see it for what it was. The people who change their lives aren't the ones who find better opportunities. They're the ones who interpret them differently. They see the same things everyone else sees, but they don't dismiss them as quickly. They don't need immediate clarity. They don't need instant proof. They're willing to sit in uncertainty long enough to understand it. Where others see confusion, they see a signal. Where others see risk, they see timing. Where others hesitate, they move, carefully, but early. If you think about your own life, you've already experienced this. There was a moment, something you considered doing, something you almost started, a skill, an idea, a path. You thought about it, you felt something, but you didn't act. Maybe you told yourself you needed more time, more information, more confidence. So you waited, and then one day you saw someone else doing it, not just doing it, succeeding at it. And in that moment, you didn't feel surprised. You felt something else, recognition. Because deep down, you knew. You saw it first. You just didn't trust it. That's what missed opportunity feels like. It doesn't feel dramatic. It doesn't feel like failure. It just feels like, I almost did that. And that feeling stays with you, quietly, in the background. Most people are waiting for certainty. They want to know something will work before they commit to it. They want guarantees. They want proof. But that's not how opportunities work. Certainty comes after success, not before it. By the time something feels safe, it's already crowded. By the time everyone agrees it's a good idea, the advantage has gone. So the real shift isn't learning how to find opportunities, is learning to act before they feel obvious. If you want to stop missing them, you have to change what you pay attention to. Start noticing what feels different, not what feels comfortable, not what feels proven, but what feels slightly unclear, slightly uncomfortable, slightly ahead of where you are. Those are signals, not guarantees, signals. You also have to get comfortable being early, and being early feels lonely. There's no validation. No one is telling you you're right. No one is clapping. No one is watching. It just feels like you're on your own. But that's the price of seeing something before everyone else does. And finally, you have to take small action, not massive risks, not all-in decisions, just small steps. Explore, test, learn. Because action creates clarity, thinking does not, waiting does not. Only action turns uncertainty into understanding. Most people will continue doing what feels safe. They'll wait, they'll watch, they'll follow, and eventually they'll arrive at the same place as everyone else, at the same time as everyone else, fighting for the same limited space. But a small number of people will choose a different path. They'll notice what others ignore. They'll move before it feels comfortable. They'll trust the signal even when it's unclear. And over time, those small decisions create a completely different life. Most people spend their lives chasing what's already visible, but the ones who change their lives learn to trust what isn't obvious yet, because that's where opportunity lives, not in certainty, not in safety, but in awareness. Most people look where everyone else is looking. Few look where no one is. Be one of the few. If this changed the way you see opportunities, then you're already thinking differently. Watch the next video and train your mind to see what others miss. Stay aware.